Allergy season continues at TYT Sports. Francis, myself, Dan, Jacory, we're dying. We're literally dying as we try to make it. But in more recent news, the NBA trade deadline and the Los Angeles Clippers and the San Antonio Spurs played last night. And the Clippers, they look good.
They looked like a good franchise.
They look like a good franchise, as you would put it, Francis. They did. They beat the Spurs at their own game.
Yes, they did.
And it's a good sign for the Clippers in the second half of the season. I would say a needed win for them to continue. No Blake Griffin still. But what did happen was the Los Angeles Clippers official Twitter account tweeted out a picture of Blake dapping the equipment staffer that he punched in the face. So everyone knows the story at this point. They were friends. I think they still are friends. And they put the hashtag family.
Ooh.
And in the internet, in internet fashion, responds in only one way. Rip it to shreds. So what happens? Sarcasm. Francis, we have 9. Count them. 9. You there yet?
Got him.
9 tweets.
Oh.
9 tweets regarding the sarcastic use of hashtag family on Twitter last night. We'll begin with the first one. Francis, Javaris Critton, Gilbert Arenas once got into a heated debacle over a $1,100 card game. They got off the plane the next day. They went into the locker rooms where they both brought guns to the Washington Wizards locker room. Caron Butler came out with a story about this in October of 2015, in which he was actually disproving some of the story that it was just Arenas.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was both. And they both brought guns. Don't bring guns into a stadium. Don't bring guns into your locker room. Just a bad idea. Just a bad idea. Number 2, Derek Fisher and Matt Barnes.
Family.
Hashtag family. Literally, brother-in-laws, kind of. Not brother-in-law, but in a way. Fair enough. Moving forward. Matt Barnes and Derek Fisher. David Blatt and LeBron James.
LeBron James. I was going to say, I was waiting for this one to come up. I'm going to rate which one I think is the best in comparison.
Family.
This one's pretty good.
We continue. The Honey Nut Cheerio edition with Kevin Garnett and Carmelo Anthony because of what is it, the love of Honey Nut Cheerios or Lala Anthony, and they kept, jeez, man, Carmelo can't catch a break, and neither can KG. Regardless, hashtag
family.
Thank you. Continues. This is by far not this one specifically, but all these were the best part of the NBA trade deadline. Stan Van Gundy and Dwight Howard went to the NBA Finals together. Stan Van Gundy and Dwight Howard do not like each other.
Yeah.
Dwight wanted out of Orlando very badly. Eventually landed in Los Angeles, which was a terrible, terrible deal for Howard, for the Lakers, for everybody. Nobody was happy with that involved. Regardless, hashtag
still
family.
family.
Francis,
this is where I hadn't seen these memes and I was waiting for Wiz Khalifa and Kanye. Is it in there? No. Meek Mill and Drake still a good go-to.
Yeah, why is Meek Mill wearing the New Jersey Devils sweater is really my question.
Is it really?
It's a hockey team.
I thought he was from, where is he?
He's not from Jersey, I don't think.
No, he's from, is it Chicago? No, I don't know.
Who cares? It's Meek Mill. He lost that battle anyway. Philly. How does, fucking Dan knows that. Yeah. We move forward.
Borderline insult direct.
Delonte West. Do you know what Delonte West did to LeBron James, Francis?
What did he do?
He fucked his mom.
Oh my God.
So
realistically, they are family.
So this is the same as the Matt Barnes, Derek Fisher one. Hashtag family. I think we have one last one. My absolute favorite. Made that bitch famous. Kanye and Taylor Swift.
I was expecting this. This is good. I was also interested to see if someone would put a Ron Artest one up there. What was that?
Ron Artest and the fan? Hashtag family.
That would be good. Oh man, if I was on, usually I'm on top of the meme game as well when it comes to trending topics like this. I must have been doing something else.
Yeah.
Watching The Revenant or something like that. But either way, I would have definitely tweeted that one out.
The Bear and Leo.
The Bear and Leo, good one.
Hashtag family.
Called it some theory. Could be.
Steve Harvey and the losing, what's her name? Miss America, Miss Universe. And from there, we move forward to Andre Snellings because we have to bring him on when we talk about hoops. And we are talking about hoops. It is Friday to break down some of the trade deadline. Some of the bigger moves that included was Stan Van Gundy putting some more pieces into his wall by getting Tobias Harris and also sending Brandon Jennings and Ersan Ilyasova over to Orlando. We continue with the second half of this. If we want to skip to the bottom here, I mean, some of the other moves that were made, Randy Foye to the Oklahoma City Thunder, but probably the biggest deal, I would say, out of all of this, outside of Stan Van Gundy and the Detroit Pistons really making a push for the playoffs this season, is the Memphis Grizzlies sending Jeff Green to the Los Angeles Clippers and the Clippers sending Lance Stevenson and a 2019 protected first-round pick to the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are in an interesting situation because Marc Gasol's out for the rest of the season with the foot injury, and they're going to have a tough time battling for a playoff position without their number one superstar on that team. But Andre, trade deadline happened. Again, we mentioned not exactly the most exciting, but some names moved. From my takeaway, Detroit came away as a big winner. And I thought the Clippers came away as a pretty big winner with Jeff Green coming in. What were your thoughts on the deadline? Who do you thought won that? And who do you think could have or should have made some other moves?
Yeah, when your biggest surprise of the day is that a backup center that doesn't play at all anymore actually got traded from the team that he was on, and then immediately cut as soon as he was received. That lets you know it's kind of uneventful. As far as I agree with you, I liked what the Pistons did. They seemed like they had a plan. That there's a definite goal. Van Gundy had success in 2009, 2010 with that kind of big man and then tweener forwards approach, and he's clearly going to try it again. So, I can appreciate that. I have mixed feelings about Jeff Green going to the Clippers, actually. Yes, he should be able to play and contribute more than Lance Stevenson was for them.
Right.
But on paper, I don't know that he's better than, say, Josh Smith should have been, and Smith didn't really contribute much to him either. Jeff Green is that guy that he has the talent that you think he should be better, but he's had trouble translating that talent into any kind of impact anywhere. And it's interesting that Doc Rivers wanted him again because, I remember the 2011 Celtics. They looked great. They were looking like they were headed for another finals appearance. And then right when they traded for Jeff Green, it seemed like everything just fell off the table. Now, obviously, you can't blame that on Green because he ended up having a heart condition. But it just he does not have a track record of going and being a game changer. So the jury's out on that.
It was interesting to me with Jeff Green, only because when he left Boston, and that storyline was circulating, it was who's going to win the Jeff Green sweepstakes. Oh, man, Memphis, what a great fit for Jeff Green. And it's still never translated, as you mentioned. The one thing I like about Jeff Green, at least with any team, is he can create for himself off the dribble, which is something that the Clippers don't necessarily need, but I definitely think there's potential, which is a scary word because it doesn't always work out. There's potential for Jeff Green to be able to be more impactful than Lance Stevenson ever was on that team. But I agree with what you're saying, at least on paper. Shouldn't have been any better on paper than Josh Smith was supposed to be for the Clippers, but that didn't work out either. Overall, though, I want to talk about the Pistons real quick because it's pretty amazing on why the mainstream media, for the most part, didn't trust Stan Van Gundy for like the first 6 months of his GM head coaching thing. Oh, we're going to give Reggie Jackson a max deal. We're going to put a lot of effort to that. We're going to get rid of Greg Monroe. We're going to keep Andre Drummond. We're going to give Contavious Caldwell-Pope a lot of minutes this year. And we're going to start building around these guys. It's working out pretty damn well, and we'll see what happens at the end of the season, but the Pistons right now are vying for the 8th, 7th seed in the Eastern Conference and work a very good pick and roll with Jackson and Andre Drummond, obviously Drummond being an all-star this year. Contavious Caldwell-Pope is playing very well from behind the arc. He's playing a lot of minutes this season. I think he's averaging 36.8, which, if I've been watching League Pass correctly, is a top 5 of the NBA minutes per game type of thing. It seems like, although a very quiet trade deadline, the Pistons could be a dangerous team going into the Eastern Conference for the second half of the season. Quickly, your thoughts on that before we wrap up.
Yeah, relatively speaking, the Pistons, the line between the 8th slot or even the 9th slot and like the 3 slot in the East is very slim.
Like 4 games, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so they actually have a legitimate shot at home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs. So, yeah, I like what they did. The other thing that you haven't mentioned, it was a risky pick, a risky deal, but the Wizards picking up Markieff Morris.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
He's a better player than the Jeff Green is, and if he stops sulking, essentially because he's not on the team with his brother anymore, he could make a difference for that Wizards team.
100%. That's also a great pickup. I've always wanted to be in the general manager's room when they told Josh Smith, here's like $25 million. Please don't ever come back to Detroit ever again. I think it might have been more. It might have been more than that. They paid him a lot of money to not work for their team.
They were right. As soon as he left, things got better in Detroit.
Of course.
It was better for him in Houston. Everybody's happy.
Right. All right, so NBA trade deadline 2016. Leave your thoughts and your comments in the comment section below on everything. Discuss who won the trade deadline, who lost the trade deadline. If you were like me and Andre waiting around on Twitter all day and it just wasn't that exciting, we're sorry. Maybe next year we'll see 39 guys moved like happened in 2015. Make sure to check out Andre at rotowire.com, at Professor DRZ. Check out his MJ clip. It's got a lot of reaction down in the comment section. Make sure to play around with that one as well. And
Hashtag family.
Hashtag family. We'll see you next time.